David Evans from Watford served as a signaller for the Long Range Desert Group in 1942. In this clip from his interview, he begins with his first meeting with the LRDG in Cairo.
We went to this barracks in Cairo, and the Sergeant Major came out, immaculate he was, and he said, "Parade's 8 o'clock in the morning." And then the next morning we go down there, parade outside the city, and we're all polished, shaved, combed, beautiful. And all this mob started showing up, beards, reading the paper, smoking, half-dressed, God knows what. And there was about 30 of them. And then the officer arrived, and we had an interview with him. I said, "Is it like the commandos?" And he said, "No, it's nothing like the commandos. We use our brains," he said. "We don't charge about with a knife in our mouths." So we went off then to a place called City Fish. And also when I was at the base depot, I'd been doing a navigation course. All the maps out there, they were just yellow with nothing on them, the names, but there's nothing there, it's just a name. So we got this testing of this navigation, and we went off into the Sinai and we had to go so many miles on. And the thing was that you'd be going out all day, and the theory was when you arrived, you found the truck with the food on, and if you didn't get any. Well, I found a truck with it, and that was it. See, they've got all this, I think it was stew or something, right in the middle of the desert. It's what you needed really to warm him up. This is the thing they say in the army, never give the officer the map, because it'll get you lost straight away. Well, that's what had happened. There was 4 officers in a truck going off. They had to send a plane out and look for them because they got disappeared.
David continues with a description of the long-range desert base at Soya Oasis.
That was about 200 or 300 miles behind the enemy lines, actually. And we used to get SAS there and the LRDG patrols out everywhere. But the thing about this SAS and LRDG and SBS is that where the blokes go doing the shooting, so does the signaller. The LRDG used to have what they called a road watch in various places. They park about 3 or 4 miles from the road. 2 blokes would go in the morning before light, and they put it down like a cricket score. The trucks that went along the road, whatever went along the road, they marked it up, and it was just like a cricket score, you know. And in the desert, altogether, the combined operation of the LRDG and the SAS, they destroyed over 400 planes. Every time they sent in a message to the RAF would say, "Nah, it's impossible." And so that was a wonderful combination, you know, the LRDG showing them where to go and the SAS doing the work. So everybody was, irrespective of what rank they were, hardly anyone ever wore a rank, was the fact that they were part of a team. And when you went out on an operation, everyone did an hour's guard. So we didn't have anybody who didn't do anything because he was an officer. He was as part of the team, so he did it. And usually used to call the officer squire or boss. It was a team working together, irrespective of what rank they were. Living conditions were pretty rough. I mean, no washing, or well, not if you could help it. You didn't bath, you didn't shave, and you were covered in dirt from head to foot. Pretty crude it was really, but a lot of people, like I did, I enjoyed it. Being a natural slot, it was good really. I enjoyed the desert really much so. A lot of people didn't. They were always ill, but I wasn't. I lapped it up really. We're sleeping in a mud hut, I suppose you could call it. Those 4 of us in there, and Keating's powder. I think we had about 10,000 tonnes of Keating's powder because everything had got bed bugs in it. The food was pretty good really, because you used to get double rations, a variation of bully beef in everything you could think of, and all manner of other things like some sorts of stew. We had a wonderful thing which was called M&V, that's meat and vegetable in a tin. And we had a thing there which always used to tickle me, and it was called tiffin. That was midday, and you had a lump of cheese, a raw onion, and some biscuits. And the army biscuits are absolutely wonderful because they now build houses out of them. I'm certain they were really tough things. They had margarine called oleo, and oleo margarine was built especially for the desert. It resisted heat. So what it was like was a bit of concrete. Well, that was all. That was tiffin. But breakfast, we used to have a thing which was rather jolly, and that was called a soya link. And that was a sausage made out of soya powder. A lot of people couldn't handle them at first, but I found the best way of handling them is when you went up the desert, take a bottle of tomato sauce with you. You know, if the Germans had got hold of those, we'd have been finished in about a week.